Hey guys, I went ahead and bought a brand new MacBook, which is something that I have never done in my life and I never expected I would do since I've always been a Windows user. Now this video is going to be an unboxing, which I recorded at the time, and my impressions so far of my 16-inch MacBook Pro after using it for a few days now. So like I've said, I've been pretty much a Windows user my whole life for over 20 years. I've been using Windows and it's what I know like the back of my hand. However, I really wanted to try a MacBook with all of the great things I've been hearing about them, and also how they're excellent for content creators, which is actually the main thing I bought a MacBook for, is because I want to edit on Final Cut Pro. Now, I usually use Vegas on my Windows machines, and it has been such a pain for editing videos. I probably deal with like 8 to 9 crashes every time I edit a video. For some reason, I can't put pictures in my timeline anymore because it doesn't render them correctly, and it also sometimes renders videos with weird artifacts. It renders slow, and also I can't do anything on my laptop while it's rendering. All those things have been making video editing very not enjoyable for me. I also tried messing around with a bunch of different settings on Vegas and nothing seems to fix anything, so I decided I'm just gonna ditch Vegas and edit on Final Cut. Also, I could have tried Premiere Pro, which I know is also the best of the best in terms of video editing, but I don't really want to deal with a monthly subscription, and I also wanted a Mac because of all the other great things that I've been hearing about it, such as battery life, the gorgeous display, how power efficient it is, all that stuff. But yeah, I wanted Final Cut Pro because it's also a one-time purchase and you get lifetime updates, and it's also just optimized for the Mac hardware that it's designed to run on. So I shouldn't experience nearly as much crashing on that as I do Vegas. Just a quick note, I purchased the M1 Pro and not the latest M2. I've done a lot of research to see whether the price jump to the M2 is a worthy purchase for me, but I don't think I'll be able to fully utilize the power and really take advantage of that extra 20% performance. I'm also mainly going to be editing videos on this machine, and it will also be my daily machine for pretty much everything else. If I wanted the M2 Pro, I would have to pay another $500 or so, which is even more expensive on an already expensive machine. I could have gotten the 14-inch MacBook Pro with the M2 Pro, which is the same price that I bought the M1 16-inch for, but to me, I personally value my extra screen real estate over the slight performance bump. I'm still keeping my Zephyrus G15. I will always have a Windows machine because I still have some programs that I run exclusively on Windows. So what do I think of the MacBook so far? Honestly, this is an amazing machine. I wish I got into this ecosystem earlier so that I'm not so foreign navigating around macOS. I've never really been super impressed with a new laptop or a computer, but this MacBook is the exception. Build quality is super nice and solid, being a unibody build. The screen is insanely bright and very crispy and vibrant with that Pro Display XDR or whatever it's called. The speakers are incredible. I have never heard laptop speakers sound this good before. There's like an unreal amount of low end and rumble that these MacBook speakers are able to reproduce, which I haven't heard in any other laptop before. I always hear people go off about how good the MacBook speakers are, and yeah, they definitely sound really good. The trackpad is also ginormous and very comfortable to track, and the keyboard is a very thin chiclet style kind of keyboard, but the keys are very snappy and clicky, much to my liking. This is actually a huge sigh of relief for me because I actually don't really like the keyboard on the Zephyrus G15. It's mushy and it requires a good amount of pressure to press down on the keys, so a lot of times I end up making a lot of typos or thinking that I pressed something but I actually didn't. Here's my favorite thing about this laptop. or the new M-powered MacBooks in general, is that everything runs so damn quiet and efficient. And it even runs, I think, pretty much the same when it's not plugged in. From a Windows user, this is absolutely insane to me because I'm so used to bringing my charging brick with me whenever I go to places in order to game or to even edit my videos, because pretty much all Windows laptops, you can't really use the full power unless you are plugged in. On this MacBook, I was unplugged and editing 4K 60 FPS footage on Final Cut, and it ran perfectly smooth. And while I was doing that, I legit didn't even hear the fans come on once. And it didn't get even the slightest bit warm to the touch. And of course, the battery life is incredible with these machines. With this MacBook, I was watching YouTube videos while browsing the web, typing documents all at the same time for about an hour, and my battery dropped from 100% all the way down to the low battery percentage of 95. So are there any cons so far with this purchase I've made? Not counting the fact that these cost so much to purchase and I'm pretty much broke now, but I guess that's just kind of the price that comes with owning these machines. So not counting the price, my only cons are really just my current unfamiliarity with Mac OS and learning how to navigate it. A lot of things are still new to me, and while I'm navigating Mac OS, I always find myself going on Google to search how to do things, like selecting all my files, showing my drive on the desktop, things like that. This is something I really needed because as a Windows user, I'm so used to opening up this PC, clicking over to C drive to see all my files in it. Oh, and I also remembered that the feet under the MacBook don't really provide a lot of friction, so it kind of makes the MacBook easy to slide around on my desk. These are like plastic feet instead of rubber, and even when I go to open the lid of my MacBook, it even sometimes slides on my desk. So that's just kind of a slight annoyance, but nothing to do with the actual machine or the performance itself. Yeah, overall navigating through macOS is pretty simple, and I'm rapidly growing used to it. To me, a lot of the functions seem to be very similar to Windows, like the copy and pasting, except with the Mac I have to remember to use the command button for a lot of functions instead of the control key, which I would use on Windows. I still do think Windows is probably more modular though. Like, you can change and modify a ton of different things on Windows. Meanwhile, to me, Mac OS seems to be more simple and streamlined. Everything seems to be designed for one purpose, and that seems to be just the ease of use. Some things are just easier on Windows though. For example, when trying to split the windows into two halves of the screen, it's very easy on a Windows machine to just drag them to one side of the screen, and it automatically snaps into the halves. On here, I didn't quite know how to do it, and I had to search it on Google, and basically I had to press and hold the green full screen button to do it. So yeah, that's so far my first impressions and experience after buying and switching to a Mac machine. So that's it for this video and my thoughts on the Mac switch so far. If you guys have any helpful tips for a new Mac user, definitely let me know down in the comments. From now, basically every video you see on my YouTube channel will be edited and rendered using Final Cut Pro, including this one you are watching right now. I'm still learning the ways of Final Cut, so yeah, that's also going to take me some time to learn how to comfortably use this new software. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.